Now, here's a personal favorite of mine. This can only be used when a is 1. What I mean by that is the first coefficient of the x squared term is 1. If so, you can do it. All right, so x method because of this. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to this number and add up to that number. So two numbers, multiply to 7, add up to 8. Well, it would be 7 and 1. 7 times 1 is a positive 7, and 7 plus 1 is a positive 8. So guess what? We have two sets of parentheses touching. We have x here and x there. They're always going to be there. And we have plus 7 and plus 1. That's it. Because if I were to multiply this out, go ahead and erase this real quick. Yeah, I'll erase that. We would have x times x plus 1, and then plus 7, and then x plus 1. So that means I have x squared plus 1x plus 7x plus 7. So those two numbers add up to give you the 8. So that's your answer. Confirms it. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am currently checking my answers to make sure they're correct, so you can know if your answers are right before turning in a test or quiz. Incredible. So over here, let me change this color because I'm getting sick of seeing red. Two numbers that multiply to 8. So multiply on top and add up to 6. So we're dealing with these two numbers. Two numbers that multiply to 8 and add up to 6. Well, I would say 4 and 2 most likely, or 2 and 4, doesn't matter. So it'd be x plus 4 and x plus 2. These two numbers go here and there. Okay, now you could also write x plus 2, but if you do that first, then you have to write x plus 4. So it doesn't matter which number comes first. Signs do matter, though. And since all of those are plus, each of these are going to be plus as well. So, continuing with this, I need two numbers that multiply to 32 and add up to 12. That's going to be x plus 8 and x plus 4. So you do have to be pretty good with your factors here. It is helpful. Then over here, I have two numbers that multiply to 40 and add up to 14. That would be 10 and 4. 10, 4. Then two numbers multiply to 26 and add up to 15. 26 only has a few factors there. 13 and 2 are helpful. So this will be w plus 13 and w plus 2. And then over here, two numbers that multiply to 6 and add up to 7. Now I'm going to mess this one up. Multiply to 6 and add up to 7. How about 2 and 3? Because if I do x plus 2 and x plus 3, well, they multiply to 6. Great. The only problem is, do those two numbers add up to 7? No, they sure don't. And you could figure that out if you tested it. So say x times x plus 3 plus 2 times x plus 3. We get x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 6. Now I got the plus 6. That's great. The problem, ladies and gentlemen, that does not give me the 7x. So I have to start over and do it right this time. Told you I was going to mess it up. Called my shot. So now let me change it up a little bit. Maybe do a little dark green. Why not? Let's do it. So two numbers multiply to 6 and add up to 7. That's going to be 6 and 1. Okay. So I have x plus 6. X plus 1, and I'm done. Now, a little different with these, because now we have a negative here. That's the thing. And so it says b is less than 0. That's because we're dealing with a squared, or x squared plus bx plus c. B is the coefficient right there in the middle. No different, though. We're still going to do these the x method. Two numbers multiply to 72, and then they have to add up to negative 17. Okay, so I'm going to do 8 and 9. The only problem with that is they multiply to 72, but they don't add up to a negative number. So let's make them both negative and see if that helps. Well, yeah, that's great. So negative 8 times negative 9 is 72, and negative 8 plus negative 9 is negative 17. So it's going to be x minus 8 and x minus 9. And that's what we get there. Now, similarly here, two numbers multiply to 8 and add up to a negative 6. This is going to be 4 and 2 at first, but wait, they don't give you negative 6 until you make them both negative. So there's a pattern going on here. Let me go ahead and explain it real quickly just for those people. All right, if this is positive, they're going to be the same sign no matter what. And whatever sign that is going to be what it is. So if the last term is positive, they're going to be the same sign. they're both going to be whatever the first sign is. Okay. So if you wanted to here, you could go through here and start doing this. Because they're both going to be the same sign, and they're both going to be negative. Then all you have to do is go through and say, okay, well, two numbers multiply to 20 and add up to a negative 12. Well, that'll be negative 10 and negative 2. So then you just drop the 10 and the 2 in here with the minus sign in front, and you're done. I know I'm talking fast, but I'm trying to get through a bunch of examples here, so give me a little bit of a break there on that one. So there's 24, and there's negative 11. Two numbers multiply to 24 and add up to a negative 11. It's going to be negative 8 and negative 3. So it'll be x minus 8, x minus 3. Done. Then, change it up. Ooh, haven't done this color ever. So two numbers multiply to a positive 50 and add up to a negative 15. That'll be negative 10 and negative 5. I'm just doing these off my head, so if it takes you longer, it doesn't mean anything. It just means you take longer. That's W, not X. Talking and writing at the same time. And then let's do another different color, one that I haven't done before. Ooh, okay. So two numbers multiply to a 12 and add to a negative 7. That's going to be negative 3 and negative 4. So I get x minus 3 and then x minus 4. All right. Now things get cranked up just a little bit here. And this is where people end up making a lot of mistakes. Because now that's negative, okay? Things still stay the same, though. All right, that's negative 12 there. And this is a negative 1. So I need to know what two numbers multiply to a negative 12 and add up to a negative 1. Okay, so if you do 4 and 3, it's a good start. Okay, because they multiply to 12. If I do this, they multiply to a negative 12, so that's great. But they don't add up to a negative 1. They add up to a positive 1. So then if you end up with that situation, take the negative off there, and then make that negative. X minus 4, x plus 3. Because this one, if you multiply it out, what if you guys can even hear the ticking? Hope that's not annoying for you. It's be x squared plus 3x minus 4x minus 12. So I get my negative 12 no matter what, but now I get my negative 1 from those two. So there's your answer. Okay, so we just have to make sure we're good with our negatives and our positives here. All right, so two numbers multiply to a negative 32 and add up to a negative 14. Now, when you hear 32, you probably think 8 and 4, but those don't add up. Even if whatever you do, it doesn't add up to a negative 14. So you have to go bigger. Maybe 2 times 16. So if I put 2 here and 16 there, I get my 32. Which one has to be negative? Is the 2 or the 16? Well, since that's negative, the bigger number would be negative here. Okay, so we have n. Ooh, let me erase that. That'd be an ugly looking n right there. N plus 2, and then n minus 16. And that'll give us our negative 14. Check. All right, then we rip through these real quickly. Do this nice shade of blue right here. So two numbers multiply to negative 10 and add up to a positive 3. It's going to be 5 and negative 2. So x plus 5 and x minus 2. Matter of fact, you can pause before I finish the next 3 and try them on your own, and then I'll let you know if you got them right. Okay, so thank you for pausing. Negative 5 here, 4 there. So this would be a positive 5 and a negative 1. So it would be x plus 5, x minus 1. Here, two numbers multiply to negative 14, add up to a positive 5. That's going to be a positive 7 and a negative 2. So w plus 7, w minus 2. And then here, this is going to be two numbers multiply to negative 28 and add up to a positive 3. So it'll be a 7 and a negative 4. So x plus 7, x minus 4.